Welcome, everybody, to Spooky Days 2020, the scariest year of them all. I had some spooky games picked out for this year, but before I could record them with anybody, my family caught the Rona. This isn't a bit, that really happened. So instead of playing anything that I had planned, I decided to make a video about my real life experiences in total quarantine lockdown by playing Quarantine on the 3DO. Basically, the plot is you're in Chemo City, or as I like to say, KCMO, because that's where I am. The crime rate in the city went nuts, and instead of trying to fix it, they just walled it off and kept everyone in there. So everyone's riding around hover cars, killing each other. And then a giant corporation came in, created a chemical called Hydrogen 344. And the chemical was supposed to make everybody nice and calm, but it actually made everybody go crazy and turn into evil killers. And that's a quarantine. They're like, well, we done goofed, so just have everybody kill each other in our walled-off city. And you are just a taxi driver trying to take down the corporation, but also bring people places. Just driving your taxi around, listening to the dulcet tones of Australian alternative bands such as Custard, Smudge, Godstar, and Screamfeeder. This game was developed by Image Excel, which actually currently is known as Rockstar Toronto. And they helped make such games such as Grand Theft Auto 4, 5, and Red Dead Redemption 2. So, yeah, humble origins, I suppose. So basically, this game is like a first-person Crazy Taxi that came out in 1994. Basic gameplay loop is you drive around, you pick people up, and you take them to their destination. You get money. You use that money to repair your car or to buy weapons or ammo. And then eventually, once you do enough missions, you get a password to go to the next level. And the next level is just a different part of the city. So you get these big open world areas to drive around, and it's pretty exciting. I gotta say, it's a neat concept. The problem is, as you can see, the frame rate is terrible. Your car is bigger than it seems, so you just bump into everything all the time, and you go nuts. And the frame rate goes even worse, and you control like you're on ice, and everything you hit is like a bumper car, and you go flying backwards, and then you get jammed in a corner, and the game makes terrible noises, and you can't get out, and you can't do anything, and it's not frustrating at all, and this whole time you're running into mines, and fireballs, and spike pits, and blowing up, and then you just go nuts. So, that's that. So once you get enough fares, you go to the exit, you enter the password, go through an access tunnel, get to the end of the access tunnel, which usually tanks the 3DO's frame rate for some reason, and then you go to the next part of the city. The next level is the park. You drive around, do the same thing. Gotta say, it's not terrible once you kind of get the hang of this game. It takes a while to get used to, but you kind of can get into a rhythm with it. Just kind of a relaxed type game where you pick up someone, drive them around, drop them off, buy your weapons, buy your armor. Just that, crazy taxi style, but you're not on a time limit. You're not going for a high score. You're just doing it. This is your life, man. You're in quarantine. You got nothing better to do. You're just stuck here driving your hover taxi around. What else are you going to do? You're going to buy some weapons, I guess. Buy some mines, buy a buzzsaw, go for the flamethrower, go for the laser gun, you earned it. You deserve that. Buy some more rockets. The government will send you another stimulus check someday, right? Surely, anytime now. Splurge a little. Buy that upgraded rocket pack for your car. Who knows, you might not live another day. So you better use it now. Worry about the future later. What future? Who knows what tomorrow will bring. Enjoy the time you have left. Don't let an evil hover robot blow you up. Buy the laser gun. Only costs $1,000. Worth it. You deserve it. If not you, then who? Someone else will buy it. And they'll be enjoying it. Maybe you'll die from it. Who knows? Maybe a guy in the street will throw a Molotov cocktail at you. Maybe a dump truck will dump a bomb on you from behind. Who knows? Use the gun. Makes everything so much easier. You just kind of get into a zen moment with this game, where it takes over. This game has several levels. It's got the chunk of the city you start in, it's got the park, it's got old Chemo City, it's got the projects, and then the last level is the wharf, where it's just a bunch of docks and industrial areas where all the streets are full of spikes and mines, and all the walls shoot at you, and there's evil death robots flying around everywhere, and if you fall off the dock, you fall into the lake and die, and you can't drive on the roads because everything's trying to kill you, so you have to drive on the shoulder of the road, which is constantly trying to push you back into the road, and you clip on all the corners, then you fall in the lake and you die, and you have to start the whole thing over again. But eventually, you figure out which dock you need to go on to get to the exit. You do all your fares, you do all your stuff, and then you can leave. As long as you can try to align your car correctly into that little slot, it'll finally let you leave. And then you're good to go. You fly out of the city, and you're free. Wow, you really stuck it to the man. You really showed them. However, just like real quarantine, it's not the same for everybody. If you have the correct access, your quarantine experience can be far different, such as the DOS version of this game, which has textured grounds, higher textured walls, a smoother frame rate. Lights in the access tunnels. A park with grass. It's not all different though. Even the higher tier quarantine experience requires you to pick up a job every now and then in order to heal yourself. You know, it's a more pleasant journey for if you have access to the higher end quarantine package. There's one thing that's always the same though. The projects are a raging hellscape no matter which quarantine experience you are currently stuck in. It's much more impressive in the DOS version though, I have to say. There's so much going on here. It's utter mayhem. Anyway, get back to the wharf, and it's just total pandemonium here. There's just death robot tanks everywhere. Everything's killing you. It's pretty much miserable. But you escape all the same, and we're all great. We're all can live a happy life after quarantine. But then there's Quarantine 2, Road Warrior. I didn't play this game as much. I just wanted to check it out really quick. So this game is similar, but it has more of a mission structure. It has Demolition Derby, has races, has like these journeys from city to city. Like the first one is you're going through the desert from the Demolition Derby area to the first city, which is I get the concept's pretty cool, but you know, it's not the greatest. And then when you get to the city, it's back to the open world kind of thing, but instead of just driving around and dropping people off, you actually pick up missions, which are a little bit different, like go and kill this guy, or some of them are taxi somebody around, but they're a little bit more variety and less open-ended So it's cool. Yeah, so there you go. Quarantine. This game was also released in Japan on the PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn under the names Hard Rock Cab and Death Throttle. So you can go check those out if you want. That's my quarantine experience in 2020. Let me know how you guys are doing. Wear your masks.